Hi there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Ah, I have to say, I'm in exhale mode. Um, it's been a really, really busy past few weeks as we're preparing for the event that's coming up in October. And so my topic today is that it's possible for things to be easy, or at least easier. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, between easy and very complicated, I tend to land on the more complicated side. I'm not sure why, but I know when I do things that there are often it takes me quite a bit of time. Um, I'm incredibly detail oriented. And all of that is good for what I do, which is, basically creating resources for all of us for lipedema and lymphedema and all the comorbidities that we share. So more people are coming on. So please leave a comment. If you have a question, put it in the chat below, so I can have this be more of a conversation. So anyway, I'm talking about how things can be easier. So most of you know one of the ways that I began to explore lipedema way back when, which was like almost 10 years ago. Here comes Bella. Almost 10 years ago was I made a documentary film. I traveled around the world. A lot of it was in Germany and the UK, Italy, where else? A number all over the US. And interviewing first started with a few doctors who were very skilled and knew about lipedema, which was very rare here in the US. But it was a somewhat complicated process, as you can imagine. And the truth is, when I started, I knew very little about making a documentary film. I learned as I went along, and I hired some wonderful people. I have a background in media, and so I hired someone that I went to college with, my undergrad, who was in Los Angeles, had won a couple of Emmys. He'd worked in television for years. So he helped. So that's the thing about things being easier. So I recently was at the Apple store. I did a Sunday reflections from the Apple store because I got a new computer because I had an old computer. I usually never let the computer be that old. Excuse me, Bella. Okay. I never, but Apple was coming up with a new chip. So the new chip finally came, and I got the new computer with the new chip, and that was really fun. But the thing that happened that was especially, I felt a little miraculous. When I made the documentary film, I got help from, at the time, at the Apple store. They had a program called One to One. So the guys and ladies were called creatives. And you could, for $99 a year, $99 a year, it was unbelievable. You could go and sit with and get tutored on anything. And because I was so committed to what I was doing, I got a lot of support. And there was one guy in particular whose name is Tommy, who just so helpful. He taught me so much. And I could now make another film if I wanted to, which I'm not planning to because it was a lot of work. And anyway, so when I was at the Apple store a couple of weeks ago getting my new computer, I saw Tommy. I hadn't seen him in years. And so we reconnected, and how are you? And yada, 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 and back and forth. Well, he was so kind and so generous. And he said to me, if you need any help, just come in and we'll help you. So he was giving a class yesterday on Keynote, which I know and use often. It's the Apple's version of PowerPoint. So I went in, and I just happened to be the only one that went in for his class. His class is at 5 p.m. on a Saturday. So I said, what the hey? And I was just on the edge. I I was, should I go? Should I not go? Like so cozy in this very chair doing my work. This is my a little bit laid back place. Even though I'm working, I'm a little bit laid back. Anyway, I went in. Needless to say, I went in, and here's what happened. It's just so my experience with lipedema is that each step is guided. And the skill that I feel like I bring is I just listen. I listen and I go in the direction that I feel like the guidance is sending me. So, yesterday, I was on a coaching session with this amazing social media strategist, and she made a suggestion. She said, uh, the film, the disease they call fat, is up to almost 3 million views. Well, that's amazing, but I want more views. I want to reach more women. I want to keep the thing going. And the documentary is old. I did it in 2013 and 14, and we premiered it in 2015. So, anyway, she made this amazing suggestion, which is to cut it all up into segments. And I thought, that's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And put it on TikTok and put it on Facebook. And, just again, always, if you think about it, how did you find out about lipedema? How did you put the pieces together? How did you, connect the dots? Most of the women that come in say, I saw something on the internet. I saw a picture of legs, and oh my God, those are my legs. So I try and get that information out in as many channels as I can. Anyway, this is a very long story today. So you can tell I'm laid back. so, so Tommy, back to Tommy. So I had contacted my team. I had contacted Leslin and Nico and Isla and Akanksha and Sheila, 5 people on the team for this task, which was, go through the documentary, put it into segments. You have to timestamp it, then it has to get edited, and so there's this whole thing that has to happen. Well, I'm with Tommy for less than 5 minutes, and I'm explaining all this to him. And I said, well, we can use Premiere, which is a editing software that is really complicated. and and so Tommy says, well, here, let me show you. And it was like someone pulling a rabbit out of a hat. It was like a magic trick, because he showed me something so simple and so easy on my computer, on an app called iMovie. And I have to tell you, I spent an hour last night and a couple of hours this morning, and I'm almost done. And I was like, Tommy, this is this is like magic. And he was grinning ear to ear. He's such a sweetheart. I have to do something special for him. Um, so this thing about, is it hard or is it easy? It's not even that it's hard. Is it complicated? And I tend to make things more complicated. Okay, let me see. Um, oh my God, wonderful. Pat says she's registered for the event. Welcome. I'm so glad you're coming. Hi, Marilee and Carol and Edith and Jane from Canada. How are you, Jane? I was just going over an email exchange we had recently. So good to see you. So I'm going to get to the event because we have a special promo offer and I want to give everyone an opportunity to register. But I want to finish up about the ease of things because I used to have for years, I said this, a friend of mine always kept reminding me that I would say it's going to be as easy as it was hard. And it's been pretty like this, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I'm beginning to experience things being a little easier, which I I am so grateful for. I find myself at times during the day just saying, "Oh my God, I am so grateful for this. I'm so grateful that I, you know, got up off of my comfortable chair and drove to the Apple store and spent an hour with Tommy. He saved me hours, literally a week of work. And that I feel that the universe is always gifting me and all of us really, which brings me to the event. It's hard to not call it a symposium. A symposium, a conference, a congress, call it whatever you want, is usually experts giving an audience information. So the model is what's called one to many. So, one speaker, and mostly in a conference, you're talking a handful of speakers, usually somewhere between 8 to 10 to 12. Some conferences may be as many as 15 or 18, but that's a lot because you can only take in so much information. So, this one to many is a very valid model. And it's one I'm a professor. As a professor, I sort of use that a lot. I have information, I give it to my students. Well, that's not who we are or what we're doing. And it took a while to put all the pieces together and to realize that we are a community where it's many to many. It's like we talk to one another. Um, and so it's an event. So our event is called Lipedema and Lymphedema, Heart to Heart, a collaborative 3-day virtual event. Let me see. And I am going to put this, if I can get to, oh, I did. So here are the dates. So saves the dates, October 21, 22, 23, Lipedema and Lymphedema, Heart to Heart, a collaborative 3-day virtual event. But here's the thing. We do have amazing speakers coming. We have 12 world renowned speakers in this area that include Dr. Stanley Roxon, who is the medical director of the Lymphatic Education and Research Network, which is the largest lymphatic organization, really, definitely in the country and possibly in the world. And Dr. Emily Eicher, who is a lymphatic specialist. She's been working in the field for many, many years. She's based in Santa Monica in California. Dr. Canataro, who is in Italy, and he's an expert in lipedema and nutrition. And Dr. Gabrielle Faber, who is in Germany, and she's been treating patients with keto nutrition for over 15 years and has done wonderful research. So I could go on and on and on, but better than that, I'm gonna post. Let me do this. Hold on a minute. I am posting the link because I over the past 2 days I have gotten all the photos up, and there is an early bird special. We have been, the cost over the past 2 years has been $297 for the 3-day event. Right now it's $97. We dropped it. We dropped it to make it as easy as possible for everybody to come. So, wait. Yes, Sarah wants to know. The link has gone out by email. It'll go out again. Here it is. I'm putting it in the chat, so you should be able to get it in the chat. Hi, Liza. It's so good to see you. So what makes this a different event? So what I loved about conferences when I went, and I went to a lot of them and I presented at a lot of them all around the world, and I loved going partially because of the interactions that would happen. The heart of the conference was having breakfast or lunch or dinner with a group of people and spending time exploring and discussing. And then once the conference was over for the day, we would sit. Usually, I'm not an alcoholic um, drinking person, but I would go with everyone. Would usually go to the bar. I'd have soda water with lemon, and while others might have wine or whatever. But we would talk till the wee hours in the morning because there was so much to explore together. And so we were looking for a way to do that, and especially to do that online. And we found it. And the entire event is structured so that we have amazing speakers, but we also have abundant and generous time to have the integration. I'm an extrovert. The way that I know what I'm thinking is by talking out loud. That's why I love these vlogs that I do, because I'm really sharing with you and sort of going into what's going on inside and making it visible. And that's what we're going to do with this event. Everyone is going to have an opportunity to share with other women, other of us, like minded, who have these diseases, who work with them on a daily basis. Because I love what Dr. Carmody has said numerous times, that you are the expert on your body. You know your body more than anyone else. Even, he was my primary care for over 30 years, and he didn't know my body the way I knew it because I live in it. And so, what he would do with me is consult. He always said, I'm your partner and consultant. We're doing this together. Your body knows, which was always a wonderful thing to say. So that's a lot of what we're doing for this event. And I see it as a turning point. I see it as a pivot that as a community, we are maturing. Um, Scott Peck, who I love and I've studied his work, he talks about community. And I started this with my desire to be in community. Um, Gail always laughs at me because I always say I wanted people to come and play with me in the sandbox. And so, what started as a very small community has grown into a community of over 30,000 worldwide, which blows me away. And people come and people go, and our active community, our membership group is at this point just under 300, but that's amazing that we have interaction all the time. I mean, you can basically get on, connect with someone in the community almost every day if you wanted to. Um, so, this pivot of the community maturing. So Scott Peck says that, all community starts out as what he calls pseudo community, kind of like fake community. Pseudo community is here, we're all together, but we're not community yet. Community is when you've gone through some hassles and you've had to mature and you'd have to find ways that everybody gets heard, and you have to find the pathway so that people feel included, that their voice is important, and yet you don't get so bogged down in it that you don't take any action. So there's that fine line. Well, our community is maturing, and in a very lovely, lovely way. Um, Scott Peck talks about it as authentic community. So our lipedema community is definitely an authentic community now. And people come in, and people come and then they're done and they leave, and there's a certain amount of, you know, um, fluidity, but there's a core group that is here and here to stay. And that's what makes a mature community, that there is knowledge and history and the willingness to share that and to bring people who come in new up to speed, as they say. So it's been quite the journey and continues to be. So, oh, I put that. Yeah, there's the link. Okay, good. So there's the link. And additionally, there's a bonus when you sign up. So your early bird special is good only until next weekend. So it's up for a week. And we put together a special bonus for anybody who signs up or anyone who's already signed up. So if you signed up with the first round, we had an early bird special for those who were either had come to one of our past events or were already a member of our tribe. So was a special early bird that already happened. This is another early bird for the entire community. So again, it's 97. There is a VIP upgrade, and what that means is for another additional fee, you get special Q&As, you get what else did we have? Oh, there's a pre-event reception. You get to have a smaller group Q&A with the speakers. You get replays, pretty much all of the conference. Not some of it is not replayable. So, but most of it is. So you get that. Um, yeah, so that's a VIP upgrade. So that's how we were able to lower the price. And again, we want to keep it affordable. And if you're listening to this, and if, even $97 is out of your financial range, always get in touch with us. We always have a way to support everyone. We do not leave anyone out. So I think that's it for this week, except to say I'm very grateful and I'm thrilled about the event. I mean, as things are coming together, like the whole story I told about Tommy and the computer and coming up with a way to do the segments of the documentary and making it easy. It's the weirdest thing. I mean, it's wonderful that things are easier. I'm afraid to say it out loud, like I'm afraid the shoe is going to drop. But it's just been an easy road. Easier. I can't say easy because there are still snafus that we're going through, but not much. And so, on that note, I want to say have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. And I'm going to end with my favorite quote. And I said to my body softly, I want to be your friend. It took a long breath and replied, I have been waiting my whole life for this. And I have a sense that this event is going to bring this even more into focus for all of us. One of the presenters is a dear friend that I've done work with over the years. Her name is Nina Manelson, and she is a body peace coach. Isn't that amazing? I mean, that someone can help coach you to be at peace in your body. So I'm going to end with this again. And I said to my body softly, I want to be your friend. It took a long breath and replied, I have been waiting my whole life for this. So go be a friend to your body this week. And I look forward to seeing you again next week, or probably in something that we're doing this week. Bye.